John Delaney has kept a low profile since he departed the FAI in September 2019 with a €460,000 payoff. He's turned up at a few football matches. He was at the Europa Cup final between Manchester United, the team he supports, and Tottenham Hotspurs this summer. But Sunday Independent has learned that he had a meeting with Pat Breen, who's a former junior minister in the Department of Enterprise, and they met in an exclusive top-end restaurant in Mayfair, Scott's. Our pictures show that they had a meeting in Scott's restaurant that lasted nearly an hour and a half, and the two were seen in conversation both before and after their meeting in Scott's. I spoke with Pat Breen this week. He's now a lobbyist, works for his own communications firm and lobbying firm, Liscom. Mr. Breen said that he met John Delaney while Mr. Breen was over at a function for former parliamentarians in Westminster, and that he ran into Mr. Delaney, who asked him to go for a meal, and he said that was it. He didn't find out what John Delaney was doing. He didn't ask him any questions. He knew John Delaney from the old days. Scott's is an interesting choice of restaurant because Scott's was the restaurant frequented by Ian Fleming, the author of the James Bond series of books, and obviously all the movies that flowed from that. And we know John Delaney is a huge James Bond fan. So much so that John Delaney's infamous 50th birthday party in 2017 was based on James Bond and was James Bond themed. There was an infamous photograph of John Delaney kissing his then fiancée Emma English in front of an ice sculpture for Walter P.P. Pistol, James Bond's notorious weapon of choice. So now that John Delaney is living in Mayfair and working over there, it's interesting that Scott's is one of his most frequented restaurants, according to sources that I've been speaking to. John Delaney is still under investigation by the Corporate Enforcement Authority for financial and other issues which arose during his tenure of the FAI. John Delaney's tenure at the FAI left the FAI in need of a government bailout, which is continuing to this day because of ongoing financial issues that were uncovered at the FAI. The FAI was forced to make a settlement of some $3.5 million with the revenue because of unpaid taxes during the Delaney era. This included payments made for John Delaney's own accommodation, which the FAI covered. John Delaney is a notorious networker. The fact that he is, I suppose, no longer living in Ireland, but is still continuing to keep a close interest in both Irish football and Irish political matters is of note. We know from previous stories that John Delaney mixes with the British and Irish trade associations. He met Minister Heather Humphreys at a St. Patrick's Day function previously. So he is obviously keen to keep his contacts with both current and former government TDs and ministers as part of his ongoing business enterprise in Ireland, and I suppose his ongoing networking efforts while in London.